Jai Hind students, myself Parveen Kumar, Assistant Professor in AKGEC Engineering College, Ghaziabad. And today we are going to discuss one topic of the subject, renewable energy resources, that is biomass energy. So basically, biomass energy is a type of renewable energy, so which is the future, or you can say green energy. So we will discuss this in brief. So as far as contents we discussed, we basically discussed about a brief introduction about the biomass, availability of the biomass, working principle, types of biogas plants, that is floating drum type, fixed drum type, and Deenbandu biogas plants types. Okay, so let us discuss. So first one is biomass availability. So basically biomass is basically the energy which we can get from the waste product. Just like we have tree and plants. So from tree and plants we can use the leaf of those tree and plants and waste like this, which may come from either tree or maybe from animals or any living things. Then it may be used to produce methane gas as well as carbon dioxide. So methane gas is used for cooking foods. So this is basically the cycle of biomass energy. So we have biomass, suppose, then we have biomass power plants. So what is the function of these biomass power plants? The function of these biomass power plants is to convert the waste product energy into some usable form, and then basically methane, CH4, methane gas as well as carbon dioxide, both are generated, and CO2 is left to the environment, which is absorbed by the tree and again converted into oxygen, and the tree may also be used after its use for the wooden products. So this is basically the cycle of biomass energy. So you can say we are converting energy from one form to another form, and this all is naturally available. So that's why this biomass energy comes under renewable source of energy. So basically, if we discuss a little bit more about biomass, so basically biomass is a organic material made from plants and animals, and basically it is a renewable energy sources because we can always grow more tree and crop, and waste will always exist, and the waste is, you can say, the raw material for the biomass. And just keep one thing in mind, that biomass does not include waste fuel which take millions of years to create. So this is the upper hand of biomass in comparison to conventional or non-renewable source of energy, just like our coal, petrol. So wood waste or garbage can be burned to produce steam for making electricity or to provide heat to industry and homes. Burning of biomass is not the only way to release its energy. There are several other ways also. Just like it can be converted to other usable forms, just like methane gas, as I have discussed earlier, or it may be used as fuel such as ethanol or biodiesel. And as our transport minister, central transport minister Nitin Gadkari has already conveyed that by 2030 we are transferring from conventional mode of transportation to electric mode of transportation. So basically we are nowadays, we heard about a term, that is blended petrol, blended form. So what we mix there? We mix there ethanol, which is basically the outcome of the sugarcane, or you can say waste product, just like potato. So ethanol and biodiesel. So this can be released, and methane gas can also be converted. So what is next point is what is biomass plants? So biomass plants is basically a device or setup which is used for converting fermentable organic matter, in particular cattle dungs, into combusting gas and fully matured organic manure. Okay, so the main source of production of biogas are cattle dung, night soil, poultry or piggery droppings. So these are the main source of main ingredients, or can say main input material for the biogas power plants or biomass power plants. So these material are basically confined in a place out of contact with oxygen, give rise to a large number of bacteria which converted carbohydrate, proteins, fat into volatile acid and carbon dioxide, CO2 basically. While biomass is a organic material which is derived from plants just like algae and animal, etc. So this is a brief introduction and availability about the biomass. So next point is discussion is biomass usage and applications. Uses and applications of biomass. So basically traditional use of biomass is more than its use in modern applications. In the developed world, biomass is again becoming important for applications such as combined heat and power generation. And in addition, basically biomass is also gaining significance as a source of clean heat for domestic heating and community heating maybe. So these are some, you can say, local applications. And in fact, in some countries like Finland, USA and Sweden, the per capita biomass energy use is higher than it's in India, China or Asia. So that's a future scope for us, because we are not utilizing the biomass capacity fully, just like Finland, USA or Sweden. So now let us discuss about the basic working of the biomass, how the biomass is converted into usable form of energy. So instead of burning the loose biomass fuel directly, it is more practical to compress it into some compact form, which is through a process to form a block of different shapes and thereby improve its utility and convenience of use. Such biomass in the dense form can be either be used directly as the fuel instead of coal in the traditional chulhas, you can say, which is used in rural village, and furnaces, or in the gasifier also. So basically gasifier converts solid fuel into a more convenient to use gaseous form of the fuel called reducer gas. So this is basically the diagram which basically show the working of the biomass. So basically we have human, animal or maybe vegetable waste, which is basically put, or you can say drag into some digester, and we are basically doing waste animals fodder also in digester. And what will be the outcome of digester? CH4 plus CO2. So CH4 is basically methane gas and CO2 is carbon dioxide gas. So basically we have minerals as well as fertilizers, we have land, then we have photosynthesis process, and photosynthesis unit also we have algae and water, fish pond, purified water harvesting device. So output is purified water. So you can say biomass can be used to cook food using methane gas, or it may be used to purify water also. So let us discuss more about this. So next point is types of biogas plants. Types of biogas plants. So basically there are mainly three types of plants. First one is the fixed dome types of biogas plants. Then we have modified fixed dome type biogas power plants, and we have floating dome type plants. So the biogas plants basically consist of two components, and those components are, first one is a digester, which is a fermentation tank and a gas holder. So this is the basic structure of a biogas plants. So the digester basically is a cube shape or cylindrical waterproof container with an inlet into which the fermentable mixture is introduced in the form of liquid slurry. And the next is gas holder. So basically gas holder is normally used as an airproof steel container that by floating like a ball on the fermentation mix and cut off air to the digester. This is anaerobic process and collect the gas generated. And in one of the most widely used design, which is shown in the figure below, the gas holder is equipped with a gas outlet, while the digester is provided with an overflow pipe to lead the sludges out into a drainage pit. So this is basically the diagram. So we have basically a digester, outer body, you can say we have a gas holder in which CH4 methane and CO2 carbon dioxide is produced, and we have outlet gas to combustion or other usage. We have sludges waste also. So we feed basically dung, animal dung as well as water, which is feed slurry, to this tank type structure through a inlet pipe. So this is a basically inlet pipe. This one is inlet pipe. This is inlet pipe which is fed to digester, and then this process is basically completely packed so that no oxygen is there, and then due to the chemical process CH4 and CO2 is emitted. This is methane and this is carbon dioxide. So this is the basic structure of biogas plants. So if we discuss about the working of biogas generator or biogas plants in general, so this is the diagram, which is fixed dome type biogas plants. So basically, to understand the working of biogas generator or biogas plant, we have the figure below, and here are various steps of working of biogas generator or biogas power plants are explained here. In the mixing tank, the water and the cattle dung are mixed together thoroughly in the ratio of 1:1 to form the slurry, and this slurry is then transferred to the digester via an inlet chamber up to the cylindrical portion level of the digester. And the fermentation of slurry start in the digester, and biogas is formed, which is accumulated at the top of the digester here in the dome. And since the outlet gas valve is closed, the biogas exert pressure on the slurry, which start moving in the inlet and outlet chamber, due to which the level of slurry drop in digester and increase in the outlet chamber, and we take waste out here. So if you see here, this is fixed dome type structure. So we have slurry of cattle dung as well as water is fed into a mixing tank. We have inlet here, then this is ground level, then this is inlet chamber. This one is inlet chamber. Then we have dung and water mixture here, which is fed up to this point, and this is underground fixed dome type. This one is fixed. This is outlet chamber. This one is outlet overflow, and due to the chemical process, no oxygen is present here. This is overall dome. We have slab cover also. Then carbon dioxide and carbon monoxide. Carbon dioxide and methane gas is produced at the top of this dome type structure, fixed dome type, and it is connected to a pipe outlet for biogas, and we have a gas valve also, and which is covered with a slab cover. So we can open this or close this valve to get the energy, and with the help of this methane gas you can easily cook food or heat the water. So this is the fixed dome type structures of biogas plants. Another types are mixed type and Deenbandhu type biogas power plants, which I will discuss in next lecture. So this is the basic fixed dome type structure of biogas plant. So if you refer further the working, if the biogas outlet valve is further kept closed, the level of the slurry further drop in the digester. So due to the gas pressure, the slurry reaches to the highest possible level in the inlet and outlet chamber. This one, highest level, and comes out from this point. And if the valve is still kept closed, the biogas will further get accumulated in the dome and its pressure increases, and eventually its pressure becomes high enough and start escaping through the inlet and outlet chamber to the atmosphere itself. And during its escape, the biogas create bubbles in the slurry in inlet and outlet chamber, and there is also formation of froths. And the increase in the volume of slurry in inlet and outlet chamber help you calculate the amount of biogas generated within the digester. And if you want to use the biogas, you can open the valve of the gas pipe and remove it as per the requirement for various application. When the gas is taken out from the dome, the level of slurry in digester increases while the level in the inlet and outlet valves reduce. And when the gas is not being used from the dome of the digester, the level of slurry in inlet and outlet chamber will be high, and intake of the fresh slurry in the digester is reduced. So this is basically, you can say, when there is too much pressure of the biogas, which is methane CH4 plus carbon dioxide CO2 is there at the top end, then at that point these inlet valves and these outlet valves get closed, because we have enough biogas here. But when we take it out from this outlet valves, then what happen? This pressure get decreased. So here we can have space for more slurry to come out here, slurry of cattle dungs and water to come here through these inlet valves at this point. And so if we close it again, then it's again stop from here, inlet is stop. So that is basically due to pressure difference. Okay, and waste it comes out from this point, overflow and tank outlets. So this is basically the working of fixed dome type biogas plants. And as I have discussed, we have fixed dome type, modified fixed dome type, and floating dome type. So what is happen in modified fixed dome type? In case of modified fixed dome type, the structure is not fixed. This may be like this curved shape. So you can say this is basically in modified we have floating as well as fixed dome, both are mixture, and floating dome type, and we have very popular types of biogas plants, which is Deenbandhu biogas plants, which I will discuss in next video, which is used. So these are the some popular types of biogas plants. So as you can see, there are several advantages, that is we have waste, animal as well as plants waste as well as human waste are freely available. So this is not costly as far as the raw material is concerned, but if we take it out the sludges waste material, then handling of this sludges material is very tricky task. So and this also produce, you can say, air pollution also, which is not good for the human health. I will discuss in detail about the advantage and disadvantage of biogas plants in the coming next video lecture itself. Okay. So these are some of the references. Which I referred for basically preparing the slides for today's video lectures. In next video lectures, we will further continue about types of biogas power plants. So this is all about today's lecture. Thank you, students, and Jai Hind.